Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Trip returns home to Wendy later that day, carrying a sack full of Christmas ornaments that he bought at the 99-cent store. Trip is aware of her difficulties following Lei's passing. She, along with the rest of her family in China, is terribly missing him. He asks her to tell him about her childhood Christmases. She says they gave each other apples on Christmas Eve. In China, eating a peace apple is said to bring good fortune and a pleasant and safe new year. Santa also plays the saxophone, which prompts her to recollect a time when Lei was a bad player. Trip comforts her while she sobs. Sarah feels uneasy as she pushes Victoria's stroller to Maggie in the square. Maggie breaks down in tears as she says how much she misses Victor. When Alex meets Alexander outside the pub, he makes fun of him for Bella tanking since he gave his sleeping partner the upper hand. Alex wonders why he would ever take business advice from the man his father hired to tend his lawn while defending Theresa. Xander glowers, but then suggests that during tomorrow's Christmas celebration, they break bread in peace with Maggie. Alex glibly warns him that if he keeps doing this, more than only bread will break. Constantine is furious with Theresa in his Salem Inn room because she seems to think she can get away with anything. As he phones her, he says, "It's not over yet." Theresa rejects Constantine's call while she is seated in the park, then gives Andrew a strong embrace as he gets closer. He tells her grimly after Shane handed him Victoria's kidnapping file, he noticed Theresa's face in one of the enlarged pictures. Theresa fabricates a story about Constantine being a kind elderly man who devised the Save the Baby plan in an attempt to win Maggie over. Maggie had been so alone, so she was just attempting to be of assistance. Since her tale fits the description of what she would likely become involved in, Andrew accepts it. However, this renders her complicit in the kidnapping. Why wouldn't he report her? Maggie regrets that Victor never met Victoria as Constantine departs from the inn. He listens in behind the big Christmas tree, while Maggie confides in him about her sadness. Sarah questions whether Constantine's move has made her feel even more alone. Maggie maintains that he is unrelated to it. He was endangering her family, thus it was time for him to leave. Sarah would prefer that she not feel bad for them. Maggie doesn't waver. Jada laments at the station that the kidnapping case of Victoria cannot be resolved in time for Christmas. Rafe tells her that it's not a big deal because Victoria is safe at home. But for now, there's one mystery he'd want to solve. Will Jada Hunter move in with Rafe Hernandez or will she not? As they enter the interrogation room, Jada informs Rafe that Stephanie's breakup with Chad brought back memories of her own with Bobby. She acted too quickly and impulsively. They began to feel resentful of one another because she didn't know Bobby as well as she believed. Ever since their breakup, she hasn't seen or spoken to him. She also ran into Eric, which served as another warning to her of the potential consequences of moving too quickly. Sarah and Maggie say they'll meet up at Doug and Julie's later in the square. Maggie spots Alex after Sarah departs to meet Xander. As Maggie tells Alex how troubled she was to hear that the first ballot issue fared better than the ad income, Constantine keeps listening in. That goes toward one-time starting costs, according to Alex. Because of their personal relationship, she holds Alex accountable for investing resources in a failing commodity with an underqualified Theresa in control. Theresa apologizes to her brother at the park and asks him what he plans to do. John and Steve will be informed by Andrew that they were unable to improve the kidnapper's face. She exhales with a sense of relaxation. He says sharply, "Now, let me tell you what you're going to do." Trip gives Wendy red apples after getting a delivery. She expresses gratitude and inquires about his childhood customs. He claims that although his adopted mother did her best, all he could do after her passing was to avoid his violent father. She regrets bringing up unpleasant memories. It's time, in his opinion, to create their own happy ones. To a safe and peaceful year ahead, he adds, raising an apple in the air. They bite into the apples and clink them. Jada tells Rafe in the interrogation room that she wants to take her time and do things correctly. Had he done that earlier, he believes he could have saved himself some heartache. He desires that she lead the way for them. He adores her and wants her to accept her choice with serenity. Tell me when you're ready, please. In the square, Alex thinks that given Maggie's affections for him, it would be best if he and Theresa avoided one another on Christmas. Maggie begs him to come for Victor and Justin, who both miss him. Consider Alex out. He doesn't want it to be a horrible experience. Alex walks off, and Konstantin comes up to Maggie and offers to buy her a cup of eggnog. She nods reluctantly. Andrew gives Theresa instructions to avoid Konstantin and to keep to the straight and narrow in the park. Stop participating in schemes that she knows are incorrect, too. This is his final time filling in for her. He gets an embrace from a thankful Theresa before boarding the ISA jet. Rafe gives Jada the house keys at the station. Although he is aware that they are not moving in, he thought she ought to have her own set so she could come and go as she pleases. Jada is aware that this will be her favorite Christmas present. They decide to head home as soon as they kiss because nice girls and guys, as well as nasty ones, retire to bed early on this particular night. Even though it's Xander's night with Victoria, Sarah informs him inside the pub that she wants to take their kid to Doug and Julie's. Though he understands, he queries whether she will see Victoria off on her way home. Sarah is determined not to miss her first Christmas morning. Xander is prepared to miss her first Christmas Eve because he believes that one of them must. Sarah proposes that he accompany Doug and Julie to their home. Her mother would value it greatly, as well as me. For nostalgia's sake, Tripp pulls out the Jenga game at home. For the purpose of novelty, flirty Wendy offers they play a different game. They share a kiss. Wendy's mom calls because she is worried about her father. She wants Wendy to return to China because he hasn't been doing well after Lai's passing. Maggie invites Konstantin to the Horton tree trimming after he tells her a story about Victor over eggnog. Konstantin would be really appreciative. Alex proposes they have dinner at the bistro on Christmas Eve after running into a nervous Theresa in the park. They decide to meet later since she has to finish shopping. As he leaves, she lets out a nervous sigh. Later on, Theresa takes Konstantin's call. She says she will never be able to assist him with Maggie. She can, and she will, he answers menacingly. In any case, Theresa will be under intense scrutiny when Andrew approaches her and reveals that he has identified her as the person who abducted Victoria. Is Daddy aware too? There's every reason to think so. Thanks for watching if you liked this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.